592.
The sexiest podcast in the network. On, whatever.
Both.
We're there.
Yeah. In the network.
Yeah,
Yeah.
baby.
Rearranging that network's goods.
Oh, yeah, all up in them guts.
Uh,
Lovely. Hi, Brian. How's it going, man?
Tony, how's it going?
I can't complain, I guess.
Lies.
Yeah, I know.
I bet by the end of this program, you will complain at least once.
It's going to be so much complaining.
Yeah.
Not going to lie.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, not going to lie. I definitely got some stuff I could complain about.
Yeah. Tune into our new podcast, What Chaps Our Asses.
Exactly.
With Tony.
Now we're talking. This is the kind of podcast I'm down for.
Right. Just two old men just Waldorf and Statlerin it up.
Hell yes.
Yep.
Those guys need a podcast.
Oh, man. That would be great.
I'm kind of surprised that they haven't done that just as a goof.
Right. Yeah. Just even if it was a few episodes or something, it would be really funny.
Yeah. It'd be kind of like, what's that ESPN show where they just yell at each other for 30 minutes?
Which one?
Good point.
Yeah. First Take.
There you go.
It's the one. Yeah.
It'd be like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I do believe that, Waldorf and Statler were the original, tough crowd.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Just busting balls, man.
Balls.
Yep.
That's what they do.
I gotta stop scrolling Twitter.
Yeah, it's a cesspool.
No, it's not even that. It's just distracting.
I thought it was because it was a cesspool.
Well, listen, I'm not going to argue with you on that.
I've been it's really off of social media recently, except for me. I guess maybe Instagram, which I peruse a little bit, and then I haven't been looking at anything.
Yeah, I think I spend the most time on Instagram now.
Right.
It's really moved from Twitter because, Twitter was already its thing to where, like I've told you before, it just was like meh, at times. But now there's just all these people just bitching about Elon Musk and it's like you do know if you just quit bitching about him, you'd make the place a more positive thing, right? It's like you're not changing him.
Doesn't matter what you say or tweet.
Like,
you might get banned or whatever.
I mean, I blocked him immediately, so that but what sucks is that so many people quote retweet him that I might as well unban him,
right?
Or block him, whatever you want to call it. I just don't care about what he has to say.
But he's gonna be the next Tony Stark.
Made it very clear.
Is he?
Yeah, bullshit. Yeah. Well, I mean, he is. I remember a long time ago I said that when people kept calling, comparing him to Bruce Wayne, and I was like, no, he's Tony Stark because he's a fucking narcissist.
Yeah.
Like, he's very much okay with selling weapons to someone if he thinks it's okay.
Like he's more like a LexCorp kind of guy.
Yeah, except without the brilliance.
For sure.
Yeah. So it just stinks when you're scrolling and it's just like every person on there is just this place sucks, or Elon sucks, or what, and it's like, then fucking leave.
I mean, I didn't
why
I fell out of love with Twitter a long time ago, and I haven't gone on it really.
Right. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's just I don't understand. No matter what it is, why spend so much time on the platform, bitching about it? It's like, then quit using the platform. It's similar to bitching about a TV show that you hate. Stop watching it.
That's accurate.
If it gets lower ratings, it will go away.
I mean, just because, it's on TV doesn't mean you need to consume it. I mean, there's a reason I've never watched Big Bang Theory. Well, correction, I watched one episode to go, wow, this sucks. And then I was always amazed that it was still on the air and people loved it.
Yeah. And it got over 10 years of
yes
show. But then again, so did what's his name, Belushi's one show, Everybody Loves Jim or whatever it was called.
Did he have a show called that? You're not confusing with Ray Romano, are you?
No. I don't remember what it was called, but it was something with Jim in the title. It was Jim Belushi, and it was a terrible show, but it was on for a long time. So, but yeah, like you said, it's like you watch something, go, wow, this sucks, and you stop. It's like right now, it's like go to one of the other social media platforms. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it does suck because with Twitter, there's not been another social media platform that fills the same space. Because each one's got its thing that it's about, and Twitter is the more verbal or language-based one, whereas most of the others have gone to video or pictures or whatever. But it's like, just go over to Mastodon then, and you won't have to deal with Elon Musk over there. Although it wouldn't shock me if people are bitching about him over there too.
Guarantee they are.
Because they're probably posting the same tweet or same whatever they're called over there. I don't even know what Mastodon calls them.
Trumpet roars or what was it called? Elephants like. What is that?
I think it's just called that. You just, yeah. Good luck.
Episode 592.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be funny if I could put an audio file in it.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. But man, you're supposed to be on Twitch though. What are you doing?
I was on Twitch over the weekend.
You're supposed to be. All right, good.
No, not over the weekend. Last week, because Leah was here this weekend, so I didn't stream. But I did get on Twitch and stream a little. Yeah.
All right. Would you stream? I know you did Battlefield last time.
I did that Azura's Wrath. It's some PS3 game. And I don't even know what's going on. Where I last left off, Azura's cronies backstabbed him, killed his wife, kidnapped his daughter, and threw him off a spaceship.
Wow, that's pretty harsh.
That's like the end of chapter 1.
Wow. Damn. All right.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with this game. It's weird. But I plan on firing it back up. I did bring everything up here.
Right.
And I did it up here, and it was way easier. And actually, I don't know where it is. I bought like this little cord doohickey.
Yeah.
So I just plug it into my controller, and then it splits into the headphones, and then it goes to the board. So then you get the game audio and to chat. Because I did drink the Kool-Aid, and I'm in the Call of Duty again.
Yeah, I saw on the PlayStation thing where it's like, your friends have played this. And I saw it. I was like, oh, boy.
Yeah, I got a lot of guys I work with that are playing, and they keep talking about it. You know how it is. It's like you get off the smack, but you hang out with addicts.
Yep.
And then suddenly you're shooting up again,
Yep. Just when I thought I was out.
That's exactly what it was.
Yep.
Like they kept talking about it, and I was over here like scratching my neck and shit,
Yep.
I was like, fuck it.
Y'all got any more than Modern Warfares?
Exactly. So I'll probably be doing that. I mean, I played a little bit over the weekend, just trying to get my sea legs.
Yeah.
But
maps and everything.
Yeah, but I'm sure I'll be strong. But I really going to continue this weird ass fucking game because it's weird.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. But yeah.
Those are the best for streaming anyway, because everybody and their mother's going to stream Call of Duty or Apex Legends or Fortnite, or you know what I mean? It's like, it seems like it'd be like, if I was looking for something to watch, I'd probably look for ones playing weird ass games, or a game that I'm like, oh, I wanted to try that, but it was, I never pulled the trigger on it.
Yes. I think that's kind of what I want to do, because why not? Or, get a little silly in Skyrim, do some dumb shit. I don't know, Brian. It just gives me an excuse to play video games, and I already talk to the screen as I'm doing it, so.
I do too, all the time.
So it's just, it's now I'm just putting it out there for other people to watch and be like, man, that guy's old.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Sure am.
Yep. Have you seen, I love this concept. I wish I would have thought of it. Have you seen, Conan O'Brien has a series called Clueless Gamer?
Oh, when he plays games and knows nothing about them, right?
Yes,
I've seen some of those.
And I was like, oh, that's such a great idea. I wish I would have thought of that, because there's so many games we've never played that could have been really fun to do.
Oh, for sure.
But now if you do it, it's like you're just ripping Conan off. It's like,
so isn't that the nature of the beast these days? Just ripping off someone else's cool idea.
It is for sure. That's what TikTok is completely built 100%. On. I mean, Twitch too. They see one person do well with blah blah blah, so it's like, oh well, I have to do the same thing, and also try to add something else, because if you don't really add anything extra, a lot of times they'll be like, well, why don't I just go watch this one?
Exactly. I'm not adding anything, whatever. But me, but I don't care. I'm having fun. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah. But so I actually did.
All right. Well, good. For anyone listening, if you don't already know, All the Beers Pod on Twitch.
I'm planning on, whenever I decide to crack a beer again, doing like a beer review and then play a game.
Yeah. Nice. I like it. Well, you got to have something to stay hydrated while you're playing. I
got my jug of water.
Jug of water. What does that say?
Creatives. And then I got Holy City Brewing on the back, because I have stickers. I like stickers. This Toledo Creatives, Michelle's, one of her pieces was a print, and it was in a gallery yesterday, so we went to it, and they had a bunch of stuff.
Very cool. Right.
They no koozies, stickers, and then although it's funny, they invited her to come, and if she sells any prints, they split, because they paid to get them printed, so she gets half of it, and they get the other half, and then. We walk in, they're like, "Oh, hey," to her, because obviously I have no idea who the fuck I am.
Yeah. They're like man, we're not allowing homeless
I kind of
people.
did look homeless too. I had my big flannel coat on and my Miller High Life hat, and just, wearing my cowboy boots. I'm like, man, I look like an idiot in here with all these art people.
No, it's funny. I could see somebody walking up to you, like, what if you find just the right pretentious art person? They'll walk up and be like, "You must be an artist."
I mean, to be fair, there's some people that we're walking the line for sure.
Right. You just got to find that right art person to I found my people.
Right. Exactly. But we walk in, we're like, "Oh, hey," and they're like, "So we do ask our artists, since this is a charity event, to pay the entry fee." And Michelle's like, "Yeah, that's fine." Of course, I already knew about it. $5 a person. It was the three of us. So I hand them a 20, ridiculous. And they're like, "Oh, well, thanks."
Should just storm out.
This is bullshit.
Tip over shit.
But it's like I hand them a 20, and then the lady's like, "Well, this is she's like, "This is charity. Do you need change?" And I'm thinking like, yeah, but at this point I'm like, "Nah, it's fine." You fucking bitch.
Right, but at the same, right, but it's like, I mean, I understand, lady, but you're also playing a guilt card
here. Okay, I get we're helping the Cherry Street Mission people, but I need I need that money too.
Right.
But no, I was just like,
forget the destitute.
No, I don't need change. And although I looked and they had like cookies and coffee and stuff, I'm like, I'm eating $15 worth of shit. I'm gonna fuck these guys over some way.
Should have had a donation box out for the cookies.
I would have put a dump in it.
Wow. Boy.
Anywho, it was cool though. It was cool to see some local art and
yeah,
all that jazz.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So let me tell you my exciting Friday morning I had. So most of the guys I work with didn't have to go into work. I did, of course, because there was one area that I deal with. They were still working, and I have to be there to supply them.
Right. Also, I called your boss and was like, "Is there any chance you can make Tony work?" As I do every week.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, I'm always trying to get you extra Saturdays.
Well, Fridays. Extra Friday. I mean, I could have had a 3-day weekend.
Sorry, yeah, they won't bend on Sundays. I keep trying to get them to call you in on Sunday
Not
too.
On board today.
That's what they say.
Strange.
It's weird.
But so I never get deliveries in on that day. But we got one in, and when one comes in, I have to grab the paperwork and figure out where all the glass is going. So I'm figuring it out, and I'm using, the way where I work, it has all these racks, and there's just glass on them everywhere, and it's like an automated crane runs in there and plucks shit, and I operate. And I'm in there using one of sheets, like a table, as I'm writing stuff down, and I take a step, and there's trip hazards everywhere in here, and I ate shit, Brian.
Yeah.
But on my way down, because I stepped sideways with my left leg, so I couldn't use my right leg to catch, and out of instinct, I reached out and I grabbed glass. So
that's
I
for
got
sure
a nice Joker smile on my thumb. I tried to peel it like a goddamn potato. Yeah. Oof. And then I got these little cuts on my nub that are exactly a 1/4 inch apart. So if they scar up, I'll have a good measuring tool. Because I was grabbing 1/4 inch glass.
Yeah, well, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And then I'm like, fuck. And I'm bleeding. So I go to the bathroom. I'm washing up. Yeah. Get bandages. Band-aid my shit up. And then I go, because that's just the way I'm wired. Just go back to work. Stop the bleeding. Put a Band-aid on it. Let's get back out there.
Right.
And then it's like one of the supervisors comes over. He's like, "Hey, man, are you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. Why?" He's like, "I've been out here cleaning up blood for like 10 minutes." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I didn't realize I left a trail." He's like, "Yeah, whenever you're done here, I need you to come fill out an incident report." I'm like, "Fuck." I'm like,
yeah,
all right.
For sure. Yeah, of course.
So I gotta go fill that out. I gotta go talk to my safety guy. He's like, "You need to go get stitches." I'm like, "No, it's not. It's fine. It's not bleeding. It's fine.
Right.
It's gonna leave a nasty scar, but it's fine." He's like, well, here's my phone number. If there's ever, he's like, you got to tell me these things. I'm like, Bill, this is his name, Bill. I'm like, if it was something I thought I needed to come to you with, that's just the way I am. Like, I spend so much time working by myself.
If
you hurt yourself, you just patch it up and you get back to work. That's just, and I'm not used to that. So I'm like, I'm sorry. I should have told you.
That's why when you said Band-Aided up, my head instantly went to the old masking tape and paper towel
done that before. Paper towels and some tape, and you're good to go.
Yeah, it's like
he's out there like a goddamn field medic, like heating up my knife like Rambo.
Yeah.
Cauterizing the wound.
Tony, I don't think it needed that.
So that's
Also, why do you have such a giant knife on you at work?
Why not? You never know when Charlie's gonna come out of
You don't? Yeah, right.
So that sucked Friday morning. And then it really sucked because it's like right on the side of my thumb. So I like these big bandages limit my mobility, obviously, because I don't want to bend. But that Friday, it was my supervisor, myself, and then the guys that I normally work with were all gone, and then one line, and then suddenly him and I are in all kinds of shit, and we're doing all this. Like the day I cut my hand, I handled more glass than I have all year. So like by the time we went to break, and I was like, well, let me take my glove off. My bandage looked like a Civil War wound. So I'm like, all right, got to swap it out for another. It was just like because I was just using my hand the whole time. So now it's set up.
I just don't understand why you didn't just. You should just cut the thumb completely off. That would have solved the problem.
All I could think after it was all said and done was like, it was like Dante. I'm supposed to be here today.
Yeah. Right. And now I got a bunch of scars and a new measuring tool.
I was looking at that today, and I took out the tape measure. I'm like, that is a 1/4 inch. I'm like, if that scars, that's gonna be fun.
I mean, it's funny. I mean, it's not, of course, but it is kind of funny.
Yeah, so good times, Brian. That might be why is eating dick so hard in Call of Duty is, my thumbstick isn't really. Yeah, I have limited mobility here. It's like training with ankle weights. When I take this bitch off, I'm just gonna be on fire.
Sure.
Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'd be like, Tony, it's been a year and a half. Why are you still wearing the thumb wrap?
I'm in training. What?
I'm telling you, it's the reason I'm so bad at Call of Duty.
I'm terrible at it. I'm still in training.
Like, I'm pretty sure you could take that off by now. If it's not healed, if it's not healed by now, you should probably see a doctor. If you've got a festering wound, it's amazing the whole hand hasn't fallen off.
That means it's healing, right?
Or you're a predator. And of course, at that point, you've given away your weakness, because if it bleeds, we can kill it. Yeah. So,
unless you're the other type of predator, you can just call Chris Hansen.
Right. Well, or you could be both.
That's accurate.
Yikes.
I saw this person when I was coming home the other day. They had, I hate bumper stickers, but I love them because it gives me something to make fun of people about. And their whole back of their trunk was like wrapped. And had in the script, which, why would you put script in your car? It's hard to read. If you want to put that message, you got to get like block letters. But it was like, become the change you want the world to be. And I watched this dummy almost really change multiple people's lives. Because I'm coming up, I know I'm going local here, coming up Douglas, which is a pretty busy road. And this person just stops in front of me because there's people trying to turn left, and she waves them. And this truck starts turning, and I'm like, you dummy. And I look in my mirror, and here comes this fucking car flying. Bro, it was inches.
Of course.
Inches from a collision.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Never.
I know.
Just
every time
drive.
I see somebody wave some.
I'll just be so nice and let them through. Okay.
It's different if you know the traffic. Like if you're on the not in the curb lane, but the other lane, and you see the curb lane is stopped and they've let them out, then, that's one thing. But even then, if there's a turn lane there, like you said, there's so many times people will whip out around and just fly down those. And you're like, oh, man.
I don't understand why they did it.
It was like that over here for a while because they had the one turn lane. There's two turn lanes at, sorry again for being local, Lewis and Alexis. And one of the turn lanes was closed. So the line for the other turn lane was super long. And you couldn't go straight down Lewis. You had to turn right, basically, or turn left. You couldn't go straight. So the lines of traffic were really long. And then there's some idiot trying to turn left out of the one driveway that's there, and it's like, why are you trying to turn right here where all the traffic is?
What the fuck are you doing right now?
I kept seeing people wave them out, and I'm like, oh god, because people were, when people have to wait, they get pissy, and that's when they start whipping around and doing, crazy shit, and that's, within the course of like 1 week, I saw 3 times where somebody almost got T-boned, and I'm like. And in my head, I'm going, there's another driveway more north, where the bank is down there. Like, it's like, drive down there and try to get out because you're not where all the traffic is, Also, turning left out of there has always been a nightmare. So it's like, I just go right and figure it out.
It's like, if I can't actually see and confirm that I'm not going to get hit, I don't care if you're waving me. I'm not just trusting some idiot,
Exactly. Well, and like I said, you never know when somebody just, the line might be completely clear, and just as you're starting to go, somebody just whips out and stomps it, and, now you're getting crushed in your driver's side. I mean, it's different if they're going to hit you in the passenger side, then it's their problem.
The last accident I was in is because someone waved somebody through. It was when I was working for Metzger's. And I was driving in the curb lane, and somebody in the inside lane stopped and waved a car, and they turned right in front of me because they didn't see me. And I didn't see them, Oh, jeez. So I annihilated
right, because how could you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It also, I think, matters on what kind of vehicles they are, too, right? Like, because if you've got SUVs in the way and you're going to be coming out left, you're not going to see over those cars. Like it's different if it's a sedan waving you out and you're in an SUV to where you can see over the top of it and see the traffic or something, but it makes me so nervous even thinking about it right now. I mean, obviously I have issues with, being in cars and driving anyways, but that stuff makes me so nervous because you can just see it playing out, you know, and you're just like, oh, there's no, you know, like there's nothing you can really do because even by the time you hit your horn, they've got to hear it and react to what you're honking your horn at.
I mean, that's,
you know,
like,
and they don't.
When I saw that truck turn, I looked into my mirror and I'm like, oh fuck, you know.
Yeah, my dad did that years ago when we got rear-ended because we were sitting at a light and he heard it. And I just see him look up and go, ah, shit. And then boom,
I've
we
been
got
in
hit.
that situation before too. You're
yeah, he knew it was a chain reaction. Yep. He heard the first one and he knew exactly what it was. And I didn't, but actually I should say this. He said, oh shit. And then he said, hang on. And, you know, I'm in the passenger seat. There's not really anything to hang on to, but, you know, and then we, you know, but yeah, we got rear-ended at that light.
Gotta love it.
So, and I was like, how did you know? He's like, I've been in accidents before. I know what they sound like.
There you go.
Fair enough. Now, if I was sitting there, I would probably also go, oh shit, because I know what it sounds like.
You know what it sounds like? A terrible time.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is for sure.
Ugh. Gross. That's all I can say.
Yep.
So besides, you know, me wounding myself and then almost watching people die, how's it been going?
Yeah, it sounds pretty great, you know?
Living
the life. I don't know, you know, it's just been another week. I haven't really done much of anything because, you know, that's what I do.
All right, fair enough.
It's weird. Like I've gotten to where I've listened to a ton of podcasts because I've been sitting in here doing like eBay work and different stuff, and I've just I don't know why I didn't used to do that, but while I'm sitting in here doing that, now I just play podcasts while I'm doing it. So I've gone through a lot. I mean, I still have tons to go through, but I've been going through a lot of my backlog stuff. You know, also looking at some of them going, you know, is this evergreen? And if it isn't, do I want to listen to it?
Yeah.
You know, one I did listen to the other night was an old Reply All, and it was right as lockdown happened. And man, was that weird to listen to because you could just hear the uncertainty in their voices. Like, we don't know how long this is going to be for. We don't know what's going on, you know, all that shit. And I was like, wow. And then you think about it and you're like, man, that was only 3 years ago, but it feels like so long ago. You know, like if you told me it was 5 or 10 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense because that's how it feels to me.
It's like it's almost like a 9/11 thing. Do you remember where you were at once you realized lockdown was happening?
I remember hearing about it on the news. My biggest reaction was that I've said this before, but I had a dental cleaning scheduled for like the day after lockdown happened here. And I was like, oh, man, because, you know, because I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to get my teeth cleaned now. So that's the thing that stands out to me the most. But also just what do they mean lockdown? Like, can we get groceries? Can we, like, how are we going to, you know, like all the questions that came up, you know, at the time. Because it was so weird because we've never lived through anything like that before. You know, and you know, it's like weird when you think back to how some stores were allowed to be open, you know, like the essential stores that sold groceries, but stores like I remember over here, like TJ Maxx was closed, even though they sold food. I mean, they might have been able to fight it. But, oh yeah, dude, they got a bunch of like, you know, organic, you know, healthy bullshit.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, and like imported.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, TJ Maxx isn't over here anymore. They moved over by
Costco.
Costco now. Yeah, but yeah, you know. So, but it's like Target could be open, but remember, it's like they could only be open for like a few hours, and there was that huge like you're only allowed this many people at the store, so there was a line outside, and I remember standing outside the grocery store, you know, because there were too many people in the store, kind of a thing, and they were literally. I remember them having people at the door at Lowe's because it was literally a 1 in 1 out situation. You know, once you hit a certain number, they were like the two people had walkie talkies and they were calling to each other like, okay, all right, next one in. It was it was so wild, like thinking back. Well, you remember some of the stores you couldn't go in like two people, basically. You had to go in kind of by yourself. Like you couldn't take a whole family into the grocery store. It was so I said it's so wild listening back to some of the stuff, because they did a couple episodes where people just called in and talked about it. And first I wasn't going to listen to them, and I'm like, I kind of want to, because I kind of want to hear the time capsule of it.
It's got to be kind of interesting.
And it was, and it was weird, and it's like I feel like down the road even more stuff like that'll be really interesting to kind of consume, because like you said with like 9/11, it's the same kind of thing. Like, where were you? What do you remember from that day or those days?
Michelle and I, we were at Stubborn Brothers getting lunch. We're sitting at the bar, and the news is on, and we're talking to the bartender, who's also the manager, and he's like, he was on the phone calling all his employees, letting them know, like, hey, this is the last day for, I don't know what's going on. I don't know, we'll keep you in the loop. It was wild.
That was the weirdest part. Yeah, because we had no like end game at that point. There was no like, well, we're only going to do this for a couple weeks. We had no clue what it was looking
there, and like being a part of like watching him deal with his employees, and it was strange.
Right.
Also, pizza was fucking bomb.
Speaking of, I was going to say, speaking real quick of Stubborn Brothers, did you see what's gone on with them the last few days?
I hope it's not a bad thing.
They had. No. It depends on how you want to look at it, but it is essentially a good thing. The guy who's like the head of Barstool Sports visited there, and he goes around and he rates places pizza. Yeah, so he gave them like an 8.1 and said it's the best like campus pizza he's ever had. And 3 days, like after the video or whatever got published, the 3 days in a row, they've sold out of food.
That's good for them. I saw he was at a couple places in Toledo. Because someone in the Toledo subreddit posted his Inkies video.
Yeah. They've had to close early because they've run out of
dough. That's a good
dough.
problem to have.
Right. Well, it's good and it's bad because, it's good for them, but it's also bad because, we got to, might be a little tough to get some pie from over there for a little while. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping. Is much like when Guy shows up from Triple D, like it blows their business up for a little while, but I assume it cools down after a little bit.
Jacking off the Stubborn Brothers. We can go there and jack off later. Just once it's less busy.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there is other good pizza in
so
Toledo, but still, it's. But it was still, like I said, it's awesome. I'm glad to see it for those, for the people who own it and stuff. That's great because we do enjoy this stuff.
I mean, speaking of good pizza, Michelle was like, "Oh, my real estate company's having a Christmas party at the Mommy Theater coming up soon." I'm like, "Oh, what time?" She's like, "I don't know. I'll find out." Because I'm thinking, we'll just go down there early, go to Village Idiot, get a pizza, see if that Middle Earth troll is still in the kitchen.
For sure.
I think he's eternal.
I don't think he can die. So that's exactly.
I'm pretty sure in the morning they just like open up the door to the pizza oven and he like slithers out.
That's what gives it its flavor.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the guy can throw down though. Those pies are delicious.
Sure, he looks like he woke up on a ship under a bridge.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if that's what it takes.
Whatever. I don't care. Some good ass pizza.
That's right.
Yeah. I saw that dude was in Toledo. He was making the rounds at some of the spots.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did home slice.
So I was wondering about that too. I didn't look to see. I know he did Inkies, and I know he did, which is weird because I don't know. Like to me, Inkies isn't known for their pizza. That's what... I know Inkies has pizza, but I don't know. I feel like Inkies was just known as an Italian place.
When I was a young man, my dad always told me Inkies was the best pizza in Toledo. Inkies and Geno's.
Really? I ate Inkies quite a bit when I was a kid because remember my dad's shop was directly across the street. Yeah. So we would, well, not we, he would go over and get pizza because obviously he didn't want me crossing Detroit on my own, when I'm a little kid, even though, I crossed Alexis and stuff, but anyway, yeah, he would go over and grab pizza from there sometimes. And, so I've eaten it plenty of times. It's fine. I don't know. I don't see it as a great pizza, but the best part about it is, if you're into like the greasier the pizza, the better, then they are for sure for you. That pizza was greasy. Yep. But yeah, I was I am curious to see if he did home slice or not, because man, home slice is legit.
If you ask me, like top of my head, pizza in Toledo, Stubborn Brothers, home slice. I do think Inky's.
Yeah.
Wow, I just drew a blank. Geno's, Village Idiot.
Yeah.
I know Geno's is kind of fallen off, but
yeah, I was gonna say I would put Pizza Cat over Geno's.
I didn't think about Pizza Cat. I forgot about them, honestly.
Pizza Cat, I think, does Geno's better. Yeah. So, yep.
But
Charlie's.
But it's always those R.I.P. the kitchen there. But Rockies used to have some of the best pizza in Toledo, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that pizza. Yeah, that was such a shame.
So it's like it's weird how you can go places and you're like, oh, they got pizza here, and you try and you're like, holy shit, this slaps.
Right, yeah. Or like Rockies. I remember the first few times going into Rockies and you were like, dude, the pizza here. And I'm looking around going,
there's no way.
I don't know, man. This place looks pretty dumpy. And then it's like, oh, yeah, the food there was really good.
It's too bad it doesn't exist anymore, at least as far as I know. I've been to Rockies since you and I went like a year ago.
Yeah. That's why I don't even bring it up. Like, when we hang out, if we're trying to think of where to go, it's like I don't even go, hey, we should go to Rockies, because it's just disappointing
it's just
now.
Like, oh, we can hang out with the neighborhood drunks, I guess.
Yeah. That's always a time.
That's just not my scene anymore, Like, I do like going to the bar, but I don't like, woo girls over in the corner. And, sometimes I just want, like, the bar where all the old guys go and they just scowl at everyone who walks in,
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like Well, all right. So December 2nd on Rocky's Facebook page, they had their kraut and chili dog buffet. That doesn't constitute a kitchen necessarily, though, because you prepare these. Yeah. So in their ads, they're low. These for like Friday, December 2nd. Good music, good drinks, good food. So maybe it's back open.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe I'll send him a message.
Like, hey, motherfuckers, you guys doing pizza again?
Yeah.
Or am I going to have to slap the shit out of you?
Seriously. Yeah.
I opt for slap the shit out of them.
I don't know. They've had some pretty big dudes working there. I don't know that I want to.
Just the chicks. Well, we're going to go clap those cheeks.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm not about slapping people, dude. Not like that. Oh. Okay, yeah. Making cheeks clap is different.
You know what is opening not too far from my house, which makes it, as I like to say, dangerous. Across the street from Calvino's I can let you get your bearings.
Okay.
An Ernest Brewworks tap house.
Oh, that's dangerous.
I drove by the day I went to Costco and got my sweet growler. I drove by and I looked at the sign that said Ernest Brewworks, and I was like, the fuck? And I parked and immediately hopped on the internet. Nice. And it's supposed to open sometime in 2023. I know.
Oh, okay.
Because when I used to deliver, there was a courier service back there that we would go to every day. So immediately I text Mike. I'm like, bro, have you seen this? Do you know what's going on? He's like, I have no idea. So I'm assuming the sign's new. Because I know if he would have noticed that, he would have been like, holy shit, because he lives over here now too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm pretty pumped about that, because that's the one thing I've always said. Pavlov's is pretty close. But I've always been like, man, I wish I had a brewery like really close to my house, like my sister has. So now kinda. It's still a decent distance, but
Right. I mean, it's not like me.
Yeah, no shit, bro. I mean,
a brewery like
you could ride a bicycle to Pavlov's if you wanted to. Which I meant to go to
Yeah.
Pavlov's Sunday.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about it. They had the pierogi truck there again. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah.
Totally dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Way to go, jerk.
We got our Christmas tree this weekend, which is fun. Always a good time. The Christmas tree farm I used to take my kids to when lockdown happened, they shut down. It's the first year they've been open since COVID. So we had to go. And let me tell you, Brian, I'm glad my kids are adults. Because, well, one, Logan has a truck.
All right.
Two, because, I'm with my wounded ass thumb, I'm like, I'm not sawing a tree down. Exactly.
Why? I mean, you could have measured half-inch cuts or quarter-inch cuts. Yeah. I just picture Logan sawing it, and the whole time you're like, "Do you need a quarter-inch measurement?" He's like, "Get away
from me." But he
quit trying to stick your wounded thumb in my face.
We're there talking to the lady, which her dog running around barking at us. Its name was Piglet, which was hilarious to me. But right. She's like, "Oh well, the trees up here are spruces or whatever, and the trees back there are firs. It's 30 for these, 50 for these, cash only." I went, "Ah, shit, cash only." And Michelle's like, "Do you take Venmo?" And the lady's like, "We don't." You're the second person to ask us that. I don't even know what that is. I mean, they're very, they're very in the woods. These people, great people though.
Yeah, literally.
But luckily, because I have adult children, they had cash on them. So I had to borrow money from my kids to get the Christmas tree, which I promptly paid them back. But that felt weird.
Right.
That was a little strange. But it was, I love going out and chopping a tree down, though. Like the goddamn National Lampoons. It makes me feel good. Yeah.
Right.
And then I got Logan with the classic move, because he pulled up his truck next to us at a light. I looked at him and I rolled down like my passenger window. And then he's kind of looking at me. I just gave him like the nod. So he rolled down his window and I just rolled my window up and pulled away. Classic.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, we got our Christmas on, Brian. Yeah, we still got those glasses from that Pink Floyd laser show. Christmas lights look pretty sweet through those.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right.
Oh,
I saw Michelle posted a video.
Oh, did she? I see.
Of that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I saw her with her phone, and I figured she was doing something silly.
I like when she did it. I mean, the first thing I thought of was like, is this going to end up as a painting? Because that would be a pretty cool painting. Just hold the things up to your phone and take the pictures and get that crazy effect.
I mean, she'll listen to this and be like,
I assume she already had the idea, but if not,
there's an idea for you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I think it was a cool looking piece, and it's kind of abstract too. It to where it could just be kind of a fun thing to paint without having to be, super realistic or anything like that.
Right. Ah, man, it was good to get watch Scrooged yesterday. Muppet Christmas Carol.
Nice.
Things are happening. Christmas things are happening, man. What really sucks though is because I got the Ring doorbell, so I'm part of that Ring social network.
Yeah.
Porch piracy is on the rampage around here.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my God. So many people are, like, posting videos. Do you know this car? Do you know this person? They stole my package.
Well, it makes sense because the way your neighborhood is laid out, it's kind of hidden. Like, it seems like you can kind of sneak up to someone's house a little bit and not necessarily be super obvious.
Oh, dude, the way these people in these videos are doing it, they pull up with the car and they just run out and grab the box and run to the car and take off.
Care. Yeah,
they don't even care.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I asked Michelle today. I was like, "Can you please use a fat marker like this guy?" Yeah. And your beautiful handwriting, and make a sign to put on our door that just says, "Please put all packages inside."
Right.
Because I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, because odds are they're not going to run up to your house and open that, because that, any extra time and noise means they could get caught. Like you said, they'd rather just go grab one off of the step and run.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. for anyone who doesn't know, I believe you can through, like, if it's through UPS that it's being delivered, I think you can go through UPS and have it delivered to a UPS like facility, like a UPS store or something, and then go pick it up also if this is a problem.
Yeah, I mean, like Amazon.
So
there's Amazon lockers everywhere around here. You can have them delivered to these lockers too, and I've done it before, and it works out really easy. You just scan a QR code, and it pops open the door to your things in.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize it until I took Leah's car in last week because she had 2 leaky tires. Can't have that, you know.
Yeah.
And the AAA on Jackman and Alexis there, because I like going there. Big fan of those guys. It's an Amazon pickup place now. They got a wall lockers in there.
Oh, okay.
So you can like have shit delivered there and pick it up at your leisure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that's a strong move, because it's like I said, I know especially this time of year, you know, people are crazy about that shit, like stealing shit left and right, and so many packages are getting delivered, you know.
Like I would love to, like, you know, put a package out front with a claymore behind it.
Yeah. Seen people do, you know, online where they'll post videos where they, you know, they'll put packages out front with like dog shit in them and stuff.
Yeah, that's classic.
Yeah. But like on some streets, like, you know, it's thinking like as close as the houses are in your street, God, you could probably, you know, if you see enough packages, man, you can make a real go at it.
For sure. People clean up in the neighborhoods. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah, that sucks.
It really does. Yeah, it's not a fan, Brian.
No.
Like, I'm all about the pirate life, but leave my shit alone and leave my neighbor's shit alone.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. At least leave your shit alone.
At least my shit. It's like, I got a couple things coming for Christmas. I'm like, that's why I'm asking her to make that sign. I'm like, I don't want to deal with having to contact shippers, or, you know, I just don't want to deal with it. Because I'm getting like stuff off of Etsy, you know, and stuff like that. So it's like,
on it, like, oh, we'll send another.
Yeah, like, oh, we have so much money, we don't care.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with some turd in, like, you know, backwoods freaking Arkansas, and he's whittling a D&D thing for my son or whatever, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah, to where they absolutely wouldn't have time to do another one.
Right, exactly. It's just like, no, just please, just ugh.
Well, it's also a good reason why, you know, when people can, to, you know, if you can order from your, you know, favorite artist or whatever, you know, earlier, so that if something does go wrong, you have time to maybe get a replacement.
Truth.
You know, can't always do that, but, you know, if you can.
If you can.
Right.
Oh, man. Yeah. I don't have any like wheat life shit. I don't really have anything else. I'll be honest.
I finished watching Miss Marvel, since, you know, I got all caught up on the boys and everything. I was like, well, I should probably do this, and it was good, but it was weird how it's only like 6 episodes, I think, and it wraps up fast. And there isn't really a big villain in it. You know? It feels more like it was just about introducing her as a character than it was about anything.
Interesting.
But the story's interesting. You know, the story behind her and her family, and the, you know, all that kind of stuff, and the cultural stuff in there, I found really interesting. And it's, you know, it's kind of a cute little, you know, goofy show. But I started She-Hulk. And first of all, it's weird that the episodes are only half an hour long. I'm so used to the Marvel shows being an hour.
Yeah,
you know?
Fair enough.
And the CG, I see what people were talking about. The CG is kind of off-putting sometimes, because, you know, they obviously, she's, you know, when she's She-Hulk, she's completely CG. You know, much like Hulk is. But I don't know, the Hulk CG is better. I don't know why the She-Hulk facial stuff and some of the other stuff, it's just strange. Like if you watch it, you'll see. But the show is funny, and I like, like each episode there's like a moment where she kind of breaks the fourth wall. Like she looks directly at the camera and will say something or whatever, and it's um like one of them, she talks about she's driving and she's like, she's like, I know everybody enjoyed that Wong was in the last episode, and she's like, but don't think this is a cameo a week kind of show. And then she goes, except for Hulk and Wong, and I forgot who else she says, and then she's
That's
it's
pretty
just
funny.
It's so I thought it was pretty funny. It's I've enjoyed it. I'm through 4, I think, and I think there's 6 or 8 episodes. So but it's been pretty enjoyable.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't see why people have shit on it. I do, because a lot of the people that shit on it because
they're incels.
Yeah, really, that's what it comes down to. Well, like at one point, right? Like Hulk is trying to teach her how to be a Hulk, essentially, and he's telling her that you, in order to control being a Hulk, it's all about staying calm and not losing your cool and all this. And she basically goes on a diatribe about how, as a woman, she shows her restraint more than he could ever do.
Right.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's truth. I mean, we as guys don't typically have to keep looking over our shoulder if we're walking to our cars, the way that women do. And if a guy starts following you, I assume a lot of women's heart rate probably goes up. If I'm walking as a guy and some guy just steps onto the street behind me, I generally don't think anything of it, even though he could be a mugger.
Could be. Could be. He might just want to come up and kiss you on the neck, though.
That's fine too. It's but I think there's different messages like that in the show. And I think, like you said, I think it really is just the incels that are the one about it.
Yeah, I mean, that was immediately when I picked up when the internet was like, She-Hulk. I'm like, yeah. I'm detecting the scent of incel around here.
Right. Yeah, and that's probably the main reason for it. Because they do also, there's a guy that's in the show that's like a coworker of hers that is like super misogynist type guy. So that's probably, they're probably mad because he doesn't get treated real well by her.
Is that his like superpower name? Super misogynist?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he's not super powered. So it's funny because I almost want to be like, he's not a soup. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I have to remember they have to use soup in like The Boys and stuff because superhero is trademarked by Marvel and DC.
Well, of course it is.
So technically they can't, they're not supposed to use that. So they use soup instead because it's,
hot,
edgier
hot and
cool.
delicious.
Yeah, that too.
I could go for some
also
soup.
Our tag team. Yeah.
Legit. Soup sounds good, Brian. I'm not gonna lie.
I just keep staring at this picture of Stubborn Brothers here, and that's all I can think about.
I mean, pizza sounds good too.
You get both. You get pizza soup.
Pizza soup. Yeah, you get that from Pizzapopolis.
Yeah, just blend up some pizza and delicious.
And we're out.
I was like, in one of my Twitter groups, there's a guy named his Twitter username is Wizzy, like a wizard. And somebody asked him, they were asking him about smoking a ham, and they said, have you ever smoked a ham, Wizzy? And they didn't put a comma in between ham and Wizzy. So I was like, and someone's like, what is ham whiz? And I was like, I'm like, is that like Cheese Whiz but ham? Like, God, can you imagine just this blended ham dip?
It's got to be in the aerosol can though.
Oh man, just ham in a spray can. Oh,
ham in a can. It's perfect.
Oh man, jeez.
You know what goes good with these crackers? Some ham in a can.
Ham in a can.
But it wouldn't be like, be like.
Yeah. It'll be the reverse sound of your arteries.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's like you ever, you get whipped cream, but you don't shake it up, and it's just like just liquid comes out. It's that noise.
Yeah. Oh man, that sounds delicious.
All right. Good.
No thanks.
Good times.
No, I'm busy that day.
You sure? What
yeah.
if? Wait. Stay with me on this.
All right.
What if we take the Cheese Whiz and the ham in a can, and we just make it into like a Goober's concoction?
That makes more sense to me because when you put it on a cracker, it's a meal now.
Yes.
You just spray that on your crackers and you have a sandwich.
Exactly. But it has to be in the jar like Goobers. You got to have like
I was just gonna say
you got to have the mosaic or whatever of ham and Cheese Whiz.
I was just thinking that when you were saying it because originally I was thinking the spray can, and then I pictured it in the jar like the Goober and oh God. I mean the thing is, it on the surface it sounds really disgusting, but it is something I could actually see existing.
Oh, for sure.
Like a ham spread with a cheese spread, basically, that you really could put on crackers or a sandwich, I guess. Artfully packed into a jar. Yeah.
Oh, Cheetos joined us, and yes. He says only if it comes out in stripes like toothpaste. Are you talking about Aquafresh? The dopest toothpaste out there?
Hey, but picture ham instead of the fresh.
Yeah, dude, you remember, what was that toothpaste that had like 2 chambers and you pushed the thing down? And like a blue and a white came out?
Mentadent?
Maybe.
I think.
Maybe.
Because I used to use it. I love that stuff.
Well, just that, but with ham and cheese.
I'm looking real
quick. Oh, it says spray ham made someone leave the chat. I didn't even know we had people in the chat.
Oh, I didn't either. Well, shit. Yeah, Mentadent had the 2-chamber, like it had the white pump, and you put the things in it, and then it would. It had the 2 sides.
Like a battle rifle.
Yeah.
Mentadent. Oh yeah, I guess I could be pulling this up.
I don't know what. Oh man, that's just nothing like starting the day brushing your teeth with ham and cheese.
Hell yeah, brother. Now we're talking.
Like the first toothpaste, it's okay to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they still make Mentadent? It's just in a tube now, like losers?
I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while. They could. I just haven't seen it.
It's in stock on Amazon.
What?
Yep.
What?
But it's in a tube.
It's straight up in a tube.
It's not the lock and load mechanism.
No, that thing made it although in fairness, it makes way more sense that if we have. That's weird. I don't think I like that.
I forgot that existed. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, apparently, where is it? Oh, that's the UK. Never mind. Yeah, I used that stuff like crazy when it was out because I don't know. I think I was just under the assumption that it worked better. I don't know that it did, but I was under that assumption.
Drank the Mentadent Kool-Aid, man.
Oh, dude, speaking of, do you remember when they had Hawaiian Punch Crest?
No, I don't, but that sounds awful.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible. I mean, it tasted like Hawaiian Punch because I remember my nephew having it, and all I could think about was, how is this okay?
I know, right?
Like, how is this not, just destroying your teeth? I'm sure it was, flavored with artificial sweeteners, but still, like, this just can't be good for your teeth.
I'm looking for it right now. It doesn't look like they make that anymore.
Oh my God, dude! Do you remember Mentadent? They had a mouthwash too that had the 2-chamber system.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, one side had like peroxide, like a peroxide rinse, and the other had like a different, like, and when you mix them together, I remember it kind of like when you started switching them around, it like really foamed up because of the peroxide.
The only thing I use, it's got the 2 chambers and foams up. I use it to clean my shower drain.
Oh, I was thinking a toy. Okay.
Wait, what?
Like one of those dildos that actually, you can put stuff in and it
like
shoots.
Mentadent.
So, yeah. Dude. That's on the island of misfit toys. It's a dildo that instead of shooting whatever you put in it that's supposed to be cum, it's
the Mentadong.
Nobody wants a Mentadong.
Get rid of it.
Yeah. Santa's like, okay, all you misfit toys, go ahead and get
Claus
the sleigh.
is grabbing it.
Slow down, Mentadong. Yeah. What? My teeth need brushing and pounding.
Oh, God. Mrs. Claus brushing with a Mentadong. Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Well, in fairness, at least the Mentadong gets to find a home.
That's true.
I mean, it doesn't get left behind the way I was writing it. So.
Gets to find a home. Right in Mrs. Claus's underwear drawer.
Yeah.
What a terrible home that is. Surrounded by giant bloomers.
Well, I mean, she's got to have something to do while he's gone.
Yeah, that's true.
It's either that or she uses an elf.
There is a horde of elves.
Yeah. It's like, all right, one like on top of each other's shoulders.
There's just elf hats that look like dicks. They just have to like shudder and strap them to their head.
So they're like narwhals, but elves.
Yeah, exactly.
This is getting very weird.
It's Christmas. It's what we do. Yeah,
it's true. Ooh, boy,
good times. All right, moving away from the Mentadong.
Yeah, for sure. Whew. Yeah, especially since we're, losing all our watchers now.
Who knew? Yeah.
Sad.
It's all right.
They can't handle Mentadong.
They can't handle the
Also, Mentadong also sounds like it could be like a really weird X-Men name, to where it's like a guy has like psychic powers, but only through his dick.
Yes.
Like it's a mental dong. It's a Mentadong.
Like he drops his pants and his body passes out like the dude from Total Recall, His dick's like, wait.
Yeah. It's like a divining rod at that point,
Exactly. Why is your X-Men named Divining Rod? Let me show you.
Like, no. Like the other members of the team, like, no. Like they always try to leave him on the jet, HR for the X-Men is just like, don't send him,
I'm gonna start pre-filling out these reports.
Yeah, right. Wolverine, it's like, Professor X is like, Wolverine, take Divining Rod, and Bob was like, come on, bub,
Good old Divining Rod.
I work alone.
Oh man,
Logan, he needs training. Like, let someone else do it.
He needs love. What?
What? I said training. Yes, training.
Good stuff right there.
Yeah. What a mess.
It's always a mess.
And that's why there hasn't been a new X-Men movie in a while.
Yep. See what happens.
Dividing them into so much legal trouble.
So much. They're like, we can't have an X-Men movie rated NC-17.
He's integral to the plot, damn it. Like, if you guys would just cut the Divining Rod parts, like, you might as well just torch the whole film. That's a weird stance, but okay.
Yeah, all right. Light it on fire. We'll see ya.
Yeah. It's like, well, this ain't seeing the light of day, so here we go. Release the Divining Rod cut.
Hell yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah.
That'd be the divining rod, uncut.
Yeah. Oh man. Ooh. He.
I know, right?
Oh man. So I got to brave the grocery store tomorrow. I'm hoping, since it's still far enough from Christmas, it won't be terrible. But I'm
It's
sure
gonna
it'll be
suck.
terrible. Yeah.
Every store out there sucks right now. I'm just gonna let you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been dude a couple. Was it a week or so ago? The last time I went to the store, it was so bad inside, and I, on the way out, I don't remember if I told you, I ran into our friend Becky,
Oh no, you didn't tell me that.
and I was like, she was heading in, and I'm like, yo, I'm like, are you getting much in there? And she's like, oh, I just need like buns for dinner, and I'm like, you really don't want to go in there. I was like,
away.
well, it's like, I'm like, yeah, the U scans, even the lines for those were like 10, 15 people deep. I'm like, you just go over to Target or a gas station or something,
A bakery. Make some dough.
Yeah. Yeah. Just seriously anything, because it's terrible in there. So it's like when the more and more that's happening, the more and more it's like, it reminds me every time I end up that way. And I'm like, why didn't I just call this in or, order it online,
Right.
so that I have to deal with this. All I got to do is just sit in the car. They put it in the back and then we leave, you know?
All the wonderful
So,
people watching you would have missed out on.
what's weird is a lot of times I don't even people watch that much because I'm so laser focused on get the hell out of here.
That's fair.
Until like I'm standing in line, then I start people watching. But until that, otherwise, I may notice things, but a lot of times I'm very much just like this. I'm focused on my list.
It's like you show up, you're out back with giant snips. You just cut the power, and you're in there for night vision goggles on. Go,
Basically.
go!
Yep, just clearing the aisles of the
Double
ham and
tapping
cheese,
motherfuckers.
right? Getting all the ham and cheese in a jar I can.
Hell yeah. We never decided what that product was going to be called. I'm just going to let you know.
No, I'm okay with that. Well, the other's called Goober, so I don't even know what the hell.
Yeah,
I feel like anything's on the table for that.
Poke and cheese.
Poke and cheese?
Poke
I don't
and
know.
cheese.
Maybe.
I don't know either.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oinkies. No.
Winkies.
No, I hate going to the store.
Very much when COVID first was happening and people were like, yeah, you got to wait in long lines in the store. And people in bigger cities were like, yeah, so nothing's changed, And I was like, oh, God, that must be horrible. And yeah, can't confirm. It's the worst.
Pretty terrible.
Yeah. So, but whatever, it's, what do you got to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I went to 3 stores over the weekend just to get some basic grocery shopping and some odds and ends taken care of.
Yeah.
And by the time I got home, I was just in a bad mood.
Yeah.
It's just like
every time I so want to just order it and have it delivered, but the upside to like going to pick it up is when you get there, sometimes they'll be like, oh, we were out of this, this, and this or something. And I can go in the store sometimes and find what they say they were out of, but or I can go buy a replacement. Like if there's something that they may not have, offered, I can be like, oh, well, I'll just go get this instead, Whereas if it's delivered, you absolutely can't do that, But it actually reminds me of, so the other night my mom wanted Wendy's, so I ordered, through DoorDash. Well, through Wendy's app, I should say, which goes through DoorDash. And she wanted a chili, and so I did the combo meal because you can replace the fries with a chili in the combo meal. And
nice.
So I did that, and then I had a coupon for like a free small chili. So I was like, oh, well, I'll get her a chili for later or something like that, right? Well, all the food shows up, and again, I'm lifting the bag going, something's missing. Because you can just tell from, a cup, 2 cups of chili are going to have some heft to them,
Yeah.
So I opened the bags and I'm like, what the hell? There's no chili in here. I was like, everything else is there, but there's no chili. I'm like, what the fuck? And I look at the receipt and they've circled where it says chili and it says out of stock, which, can happen, fine, right? But I'm like, there's a bad flaw here in that if you're ordering dinner and something that could be a major part of someone's dinner or all they're eating is out of stock, it sucks that they can't send you an alert that says, oh, this store has reported that they're out of stock. Would you like something else?
Right.
Because like I was telling my mom, fortunately for her, there was plenty of food because I had ordered like extra nuggets and, so she just had a few of my fries and whatever. And then she was fine because she had a sandwich and a Frosty, So, but it was like, what if like maybe we had a third person and all they were going to eat was the chili, and it's like, oh, great. I get nothing to eat.
Cool. I'll starve. You got
like
some of them little salt packets in there?
Right. It's like, and she even said, she's like, she's like, it's too bad, she's like, they could have just thrown in some fries or something like that. And I was like, I don't, it is something that I don't know how you handle though, because you can't, the driver isn't going to know until they go to pick it up. And even if they message you, you would have to go back into the app, order again. They'd have to essentially wait until whatever else you order was there and then be able to take it. If that's even, and I don't even know if they can do that, so it's like, I understand there's like an issue there, but it's too bad that that could be a problem. What if you ordered a salad, like, you order a salad from a place like Wendy's? Well, as it gets later in the day, they run out of them and they don't make more. So if you order a salad, go, oh, I'm going to have a salad for dinner, and the other person orders their, burger and fries combo, you don't get a salad. There's just no food there. So now you're bumming.
I mean, that is the downside about getting food delivery, because I don't like getting food delivered.
I don't either.
It's like it shows up sometimes not quite hot enough,
right?
Or you're missing shit, or it's just I haven't had many good experiences with it. It's always been like meh.
Yeah, the place that it's fine, like where I live, the place where it's fine to get food delivered from is like Taco Bell, because it's like right around the corner.
Fair enough.
So they pick it up, they drop it off, and it's basically as though you went and got it yourself, And as someone who doesn't drive, that's a nice option. But otherwise, I'm with you. Like Wendy's, there's not really a close Wendy's. So a lot of times by the time we get the food, the fries are kind of cold. But I usually will just, I've tossed them in my toaster oven and, warmed them back up. But
right.
Yeah, I'm with you though. The biggest problem for me is when stuff's missing, because it's like, well, what do I do? I can't, even if I call and report this, it doesn't replace the food.
Yeah. They're like, oh, here's a credit for your next DoorDash order.
Right. And you're like, well, that's great, but I'm hungry and I don't really want to wait another hour to get more food, So yeah, that's why I said I feel like there's a problem here, but I don't know how to solve it, because I can understand where it gets real gummy trying to figure, because like I said, even if your driver goes, oh shit, they're out of this, because they have your number. Even if they were to text you and say, hey, they're out of chili, would you like something else? It's like, well, you still have to pay for it somehow, and in the store level, they probably can't just tack on, oh, give us a couple extra fries or something.
Like, hey, you guys are out of chili. So, my guy says he wants to replace it with Baconator.
Right. And they're going to go, okay. Like I said, I think you would have to literally put in a whole new order.
That your guy there
for
gets
that bacon. Right. That's the other part. It's like, can the driver that's already, because if they're in the middle of a delivery, I assume they can't take another delivery. Maybe they can. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But, if you can't, then there'd be no way to do that, And so that's why I said, it's like, it sucks that you can't add to an order or something like that. I don't, like I said, I don't know what the answer is, because it seems like it'd be fairly complicated to get that right, because, when you order, they don't immediately contact the store and say, hey, there's this. What would be cool is if when the store got whatever, if the store could somehow contact the app and before someone goes to deliver it or something, and say, hey, we're out of this. Would you like to amend your order, basically? Or would you like to cancel it and resubmit it or something? I don't know, but somebody smarter than me should figure this out. I'm just bringing you the problem. They just got someone else got to solve it.
DJ evolves it.
And I guess the only other way to get around it is to just order a bunch of extra food, that's likely to be in stock.
Yeah, that seems like a shitty way to solve the problem, though.
Right? Like you're going to Wendy's, be like, well, we better toss a couple extra burgers in here to make sure we got enough food.
Silly to have to do that.
In fairness, I used to do that at Taco Bell all the time, though. When I would go, I'd always over-order because Taco Bell used to be really notorious for missing items in your orders. And I don't mean for delivery. I mean, even when you're like going through the drive-thru, But also, I just got better at just, hey, I'm going to check the order before we leave the parking lot,
Right.
So if we're missing shit, I can just run back in or go back through the line depending on what time it is.
Where's my chalupa Baja Blast?
Damn, wait, slow down. I don't know about no Baja Blast. Can't drink that stuff. No. Tastes like mouthwash to me. No. No. Meant to do.
Yeah, now we're talking. The only 2-chamber
do. Delicious.
One chamber is pure caffeine.
Yeah,
the other one's pure extreme.
Right. But somehow still tastes like toothpaste. Oh my God, meant to do the first caffeinated toothpaste.
I mean,
let's go. Yep. Before you have your coffee, meant to do. After you have your coffee, more meant to do. New meant to do chews.
Kid, like rollerblading through his house, brushing his teeth.
Yeah. Yep. Grinding the rails down the staircase. Oh man. Extreme clean.
Fucking meant to do. Dude, meant to do. 1 out of 10 dentists recommend meant to do.
Yeah, 1 out of 10. It just shows some real greasy dude getting his hand loaded with, a sack of money. Obviously,
he's just
with
counting it, and he's like, whoop, shoves it in his coat real quick.
Yeah.
Yes, I am a dentist.
The other, yeah.
He just makes dentures for a living, really.
Yeah. Yes, I am a dentist.
Did you say dentist?
Yeah, I did. That's what it says at the bottom. Instead of saying 9 out of 10 dentists agree.
Just some tubby dude in a Seahawks jersey.
With a doctor's coat over it. Yeah.
He's got a stethoscope for some reason, although dentists don't need those. Because doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, man.
Do.
Ooh. Yep. Oh, man. I'm actually surprised they haven't. Somebody hasn't done a caffeinated toothpaste yet. Well, there's caffeinated water, Jesus. Like how desperate are you for that caffeine that it's all the way down to caffeinated water, Right? Like when you're drinking caffeinated water, I think you should probably go, maybe it's time to cut back on the caffeine.
Well, Brian, I hate to tell you this. Caffeinated toothpaste exists.
Already made? Jesus. I'm not shocked.
Let's see here. We have on Amazon, also sold at Walmart. Power toothpaste, energy toothpaste.
Oh,
wake up with minty fresh methylated breath. Get the caffeine boost you need to kickstart the mornings. No more falling asleep in the shower. That's how they're selling it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't think that's something I've ever done. I've never fallen asleep in the shower. Nearly passed out in the shower a couple of times, but never fallen
Get a
asleep
rush while you brush. Power up your morning with the world's first caffeinated toothpaste. A single tube is good for 90 amazing mornings. We promise this won't be your last tube. The world's first energy toothpaste. This toothpaste contains caffeine. I'm just trying to get to the reviews, I'm being honest. It's okay. I don't feel any lightning powers afterwards, but hey, I tried it.
Yeah.
Bad price, worse turnout. Taste horrible.
Big surprise, right?
Yeah. Best pre-party toothpaste on the market. 5 stars.
Wow.
Save your money. 1 star.
What?
So
how could it be
the
that
best pre-party toothpaste on the market was by Dan in 2018. Says, I love this toothpaste. I personally hate the oversweetened, super gooey toothpaste that most big toothpaste brands sell. So Power fits the mark for a more simple, streamlined taste. No frills and no fluoride. I brush once a week with fluorinated toothpaste, per my dentist's recommendation. Thanks, Dan. You get a mild caffeine kick with this, enough to get you going. Not enough to make your arms shake. Just enough to help you remember how to use your coffee maker in the morning. The best thing? Use this before you go out at night. The 6 p.m. brush is hard to beat. You get better breath and enough energy to open up that Uber app and get out of your house. Super useful for the post-sunset set at a music festival. 10 out of 10 would buy again. Thanks,
wow,
Dan.
that doesn't all sound like someone scripted something and said, here, go post this somewhere.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
Fucking Dan.
I think Dan has a lot of issues in his life.
Yeah, I mean, wow, where did my mouse icon? Is my mouse die? What's going on here? There it is.
Probably. There's no way that toothpaste is that great. Listen, I can understand the the not liking the sweet taste of some toothpaste, but they have stop using the gel and go. Yeah. The paste is usually just like mint,
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty aggressively mint. Like the gel is usually where it has more of a sugary. Or buy one of those like Toms or something like that, or whatever they're called. Not Toms, I don't know, whatever it is. Like those
like natural toothpaste.
Yeah, to where it's just
baking
like
soda
oil is all you taste. Yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but I was somewhere like, oh yeah, I didn't have my toothpaste, and they had something like an unnatural toothpaste.
Wait, unnatural toothpaste? Is it like Raise the Dead or something?
Yes. Necronomicon X toothpaste.
Right.
The paste
when you feel like a zombie. When you feel like a zombie in the morning, use our unnatural toothpaste.
Yes. I just remember the shit was awful. It was like,
yeah,
I might as well have like soaked my toothbrush head in water and then dunked it in a thing of Arm & Hammer.
Yeah.
The shit was it might have been Arm & Hammer toothpaste, actually, now that I think about it.
I actually use Arm & Hammer toothpaste.
Well, now or back when it was, like out of the mines.
Yeah.
Like it came in like a tin or something.
Like your fisherman's friend.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I use Arm & Hammer toothpaste because I was trying to whiten my teeth, a little better. And I remember Nikki Glazer on her podcast talking about how her dentist recommended it and said that it worked better than most of the whitening toothpaste, and it really did. It made a big difference.
Yeah.
So I just have kind of kept using it.
Well, you should just switch to Power Tooth.
No, I don't. Right. I mean, you can just brush your teeth with cocaine instead.
True.
Quit using this, sissified stuff.
Or you just don't brush your teeth at all.
I don't know that that's recommended.
Problem solved.
I mean, eventually you won't have to worry about your teeth.
All right.
You won't have any.
Get that Mountain Dew mouth. Do.
Yeah. That's right.
Mentadong.
It's the first toothpaste that speeds up the rotting of your teeth. Oh man! All right. Oh boy, we've done a lot of product development on this show.
What we do sometimes.
Yeah.
What we do.
Yes. Yep. I was trying to think. I don't really have anything else I've done this week. Do you? I'm pretty much I don't have any stories or anything.
Kind of a light week.
Well, actually, I take that back. I do have one thing, which was, did you see the December monthly games for the PlayStation Plus?
Wasn't it like Mass Effect and something else?
Yeah, it's Mass Effect, Divine Knockout, and Biomutant.
I don't know what any. I mean, I know Mass Effect is. I don't know what the other two games are.
I was saying, yeah, okay. I was like, you've never heard of Mass Effect? Okay. Yeah, the Mass Effect one is the Legendary Edition, so it's the one with like the better graphics.
Is it like the complete run?
Was it remastered versions? It includes the remastered versions of the original Mass Effect trilogy with better graphics and controls, apparently. So that's pretty. Because
it's like I've played Mass Effect 1 a little bit, and that was it.
Yeah, I haven't played any of them, so I was like, oh, cool. It'll be cool to grab that for sure. I mean, like every month, I pretty much just add all of it to the library. But Biomutant said it apparently got mixed reviews. I didn't look up to see what the reviews are. But it says it's a open world action RPG where players take control of a highly customizable creature armed with various weapons. And Divine Knockout says concept is basically Super Smash Brothers in a 3D fighting arena as opposed to the side view that those games typically use. And I was reading on Divine Knockout's website that it sounds like the battlegrounds evolve. Like some crumble over time, some have traps.
Interesting.
Stuff like that. So it'd be all right. Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. But for sure interested in
Mass Effect?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. That's the winner for the month.
Big wiener. Ugh.
Because
yeah, I would be interested in playing those too. I mean, but I've still I've never played any of the Uncharted games. I have all those in my library because they've offered them all up by now.
I played the first one. I don't think I played any past that, but I played the first one.
First one was games great. Out there, Brian. So little time. Thank God for all the beers pod on Twitch.
Yep. And for, the cloning technology that we're working on.
That too. Man, this cold water is cold.
That way you can you can send that clone to work, and if it happens to hack its thumb off, no big deal. You just make another clone,
right?
Yep. You just have to be careful of what was it? I can't remember if that was Calvin and Hobbes or if it was something else to where every clone you make is dumber than the one before, basically.
That was kind of almost multiplicity.
Yeah, there was something else, there was a cartoon I remember seeing it on, which is where it's popping into my head, but I can't remember which one it was. It's like they lose intelligence points for every clone that they make.
It might have been Calvin and Hobbes because I want to say he built a cloning machine.
Definitely did, and because the concept behind it is when you use a copy machine, right? Like when you put that first thing in there, copy it once. Every time you copy it, it degrades. You lose a little quality every time, and I think that was the concept behind it. But I can't remember if it was Calvin or Hobbes or something else. But
the
anyway.
Michael Keaton joint Multiplicity, when they made a copy of the copy, he was extremely special needs.
Right, which is how it, again, it's using the copier theory. Because, you remember from when we had to do it in commercial art, you didn't want to keep using a copied copy because the quality was absolutely perfect.
Oof.
Yeah. Oof, indeed. All right. Well, speaking of losing brain points, let's do a Q of the W.
Right. Last week we asked y'all, what is one small action you find to be rude? How do we not have any Diamond Top fans anymore? So sad.
I don't know.
Oh, wait. Hold on. I might know why. It's because I'm interacting as me and not as our program, so I don't get to see who the Diamond fans are.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Sometimes I really despise this. Well, whatever. I don't know how to switch it. I don't give a shit. Not holding the door open for people. That would be Diamond Fan. Big Dev. Accurate.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. It's so funny how there's some people who will see you like 600 feet away and they'll hold the door for you. And there's other people who will see you like a foot away and won't hold the door open for you. It's like, like we need to take some of your energy and give it to these other people.
Yeah. And then an old friend of the show and a friend of your boys here, Jason Morrow, says standing on an escalator. Which I get. Yeah, I totally get that.
I mean, I typically do though. Like, why am I trying to like walk in when this thing's moving me?
For me, it depends on if I'm actually in a hurry or not.
Yeah, if I'm in a hurry, it's different. But most of the time, I'd just get on it and wait because that's the point of it. If I wanted to actually take stairs, I'd take stairs.
I really enjoy those horizontal escalators. It's like they have at airports and shit.
Yeah.
Big fan of those.
Yeah.
Basically,
big treadmills. And
yeah. Now, what I find interesting is if you look at our Facebook page, it says 3 comments, but there's only 2.
Yeah, that's weird. I've seen that before. I don't know why. Nice. All right. Well, shit. All right, well, Cheeto sent in an answer, of course, and his says, creeping up on me while standing in line for something. Step the fuck back. I'm not even saying 6 feet or COVID back. The line isn't moving faster because you're wedged betwixt my ass cheeks. The line isn't suddenly accelerating because your head's over my shoulder watching me write this email. And which I agree with. It's one of the things. I'm a person who likes personal space, and I hate when people are right behind me, like pushing you into through a line. It's like, why are you so close? Like, seriously, take a step back or two. He says, Hobie pick, being in a public restroom and someone else is in there, and when they are finished, they don't wash their hands. That's rude as fuck. It also makes you an inconsiderable prick and your guy. This fucking 60-year-old rude bastard is in the waiting room watching home repair videos on his phone with no earbuds and the volume at a level so that everyone gets to listen to what he finds so fascinating. It's not fascinating. It's rude. Get some earbuds or wait the fuck outside. Like Agreed. It's funny. The video thing is annoying to me, but the 2 that annoy me more are so many times when people give their kids their phone and they leave the volume all the way up and the kid's playing some obnoxious game or something. And the other one that bugs me the most is when people won't turn off the keyboard sounds. Oh my God, dude. I don't know if you remember me talking about that there was a thing I was at and I was in the waiting area and there was a woman who was doing that the whole time. I mean, she just keeps texting and everybody in the place is like turning and looking at her with the like, seriously look on their faces until finally some woman just said something about it. Was like, would you turn those fucking sounds off?
Driving everyone crazy.
Yeah, it's like you're about to be murdered. Like the only reason you aren't dead is there's too many witnesses.
But we're all in on it now.
Yeah, but if we all agree we didn't see nothing.
You remember when Sting beat the shit out of that kid in his living room?
That was great. Yeah. Oh, it would have too, man. Just like I said, the way it was funny because some of the women, like the way they were looking, man. I mean, is about to be time to like start taking the earrings and nails off. It was it was. I was like, oh shit, it's it's gonna get real in here real quick.
I always I'm not a fan of that either.
Yeah. It's the first thing I do every time I get a new phone. One of the first things I do is go in and turn that off.
I saw a screen cap of a tweet, which really made me laugh. It was like, 20 years ago when cell phones came out, everybody paid for ringtones. I haven't had my phone on ring for the whole time I've owned it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's so accurate.
Mine's
always on silent.
Yeah.
Very rarely is it on, because I actually, not. Yeah.
Right. I saw a tweet the other day where somebody was, talking about how people should have their phones on because it's like, people have kids and blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, if you have kids, I can understand it maybe, but otherwise, nope. Like I listen, my phone vibrates. It's either sitting out most of the time, it's in my hand, or even if it's in my pocket, it's pulled out of my pocket enough that even if I were to miss something, I can call somebody right back. And again, if it's something super important, they will blow you up.
I mean, the thing that made mine forever be on silent basically is the watch.
Oh,
although I did have to like curate my notifications because for a while there, every app was pushing through, and I'm like, I can't. And now it's basically phone calls and text messages because those are important.
Right. I had mine on silent for a long time because because I have sound issues. But the biggest one that honestly like solidified it for me is the fucking text noise that an iPhone makes. That high pitched bing sound. It absolutely murders my ears. So after that, I'm like, I don't want to hear this. And I don't get phone calls very often anyway, so I don't really need it. But like for a while, because of our salty language thing, Twitter and stuff, like we'd get notifications enough that it was just like annoying. And it was like, I don't need this sound on. So I just turned it off. Then I never have to worry about it. Like when I'm in therapy or a doctor's appointment or something like that. Oh shit, sorry, I didn't turn my phone off. It's just always off. And like I said, when I come out of my therapy appointment, usually on the walk out to the car, I pull the phone out of my pocket and look, because unless it's like, even if it is super important, it's like, I'm probably not going to check it while I'm in therapy because I'm in therapy.
I throw my shit on do not disturb when I got appointments. Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically what mine is, except it's just in my pocket the whole time. I just don't
if I feel the vibrate, I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I just have kind of gotten used to not checking it like that. So any other time I'm checking it like every 2 seconds, but when I'm in the middle of an appointment like that, I'm like, no, this can wait. Or if we're drinking, because you've seen it, like a lot of times when we're drinking, my phone will just be face down on the bar. Like, because I really don't care that much. So yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Oh, man, I gotta find some more here. I only have 6 for you to pick from this time.
For the new year.
I know. Jeez.
I still say if people have QofhteWs, feel free to submit them. I'm just saying.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So 1 through 6.
Let's go with 6. It's a third of the sign of the beast.
Wow. Well, at least this one's, appropriate for this time of year. What are some underrated horror / thriller movies you watched this month? This was one I actually meant to do back when we were in October. I totally forgot.
This month, eh?
Yeah. So anyway, we'll drop that part of it off. But what are some underrated horror / thriller movies? I have my answer, which was, have you ever seen Trilogy of Terror?
It sounds familiar, but I honestly don't know.
If not, pull it up. It's like this one woman, I think, plays like this, like 3 parts in this movie, and each one is kind of weird and crazy.
We got
like one
Trilogy of Terror trilogy, 1975 or 1996.
What?
Okay. All right.
Oh, it's the older one. I saw it. I don't remember. My mom had what's it called? Svengoolie on a few weeks ago or months ago, whenever it was. And this movie it's done. There's 3 stories. Yeah, there it is. Karen Black is the woman's name. She plays 4 different roles across the 3 stories. And like one of them, she's, like she has multiple personalities. One is she plays this woman in this little like doll things attacking her. And it's I think it's a pretty decent movie. And it's also, I mean, it's cheesy, of course, because it's fucking old. But yeah, but I've seen it a few times and I've enjoyed it every time. And the woman playing these parts she's phenomenal in these parts. So,
I'll be honest.
was even nominated for.
I haven't watched a movie in a little while. I've just been watching a lot of shows.
Well, even something that was like but even something like an old movie like this one's not new by any means. It's just something I saw again recently. I remember watching this back when we had the one of the video stores I worked at.
This movie looks ridiculous. She's being chased by some little knife wielding doll.
Yeah.
Give me a second. I got to do a quick goog because Leah introduced us to a movie over the summer when we were doing outdoor movie time. It was an Australian horror movie, and it was like people got dropped in like to the outback, right? And then they were connected to like killers. So it was like
okay.
It was like the whole point was like the murderer had to go murder all the other girls, but had to protect his girl. It was kind of interesting.
Oh, okay. That's very weird. All right. Well, Cheeto says, "Ruin Me," which is on Shudder. He says,
"Ruin Me," huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up on IMDb so I can have it in the show notes for.
Not Austrian. God, I don't know how to fucking spell, Brian.
Do you though?
I don't. That's what I said.
Do
you? Australian horror movies.
All right. Yeah. All right. So the synopsis on this one is Alexandra reluctantly tags along for Slasher Sleep Out, an extreme event that is part camping trip, part haunted house, and part escape room. But when the fun turns deadly, Alex has to play the game if she wants to make it out alive. All right.
God,
Oh shit, Chris Hill's in this.
But it's Steve Harvey.
I don't know who Chris Hill is. I just picked a random name of an actor.
It says written and directed by a guy you went to high school with. That's cool.
Oh,
okay.
Oh yeah. I assume that's Preston DeFrancis. Or Tristan something rather. I forgot the name already. But anyway, right. I assume you haven't found it yet.
What this is called. I know. It was a fun movie too, but it's like I'd have to text Leah, and Leah's probably asleep. Well, Leah doesn't sleep. But
right.
Yeah, I really wish I could remember what this movie's called because it was a fun movie. This is one I'm going to have to answer on our own show next week because I don't have the answer right now. What do you think of them apples?
Okay. Love it.
Yeah, I can't find it. So yeah, I'm going to answer with our listeners next week. Because I have the movie, I just don't know the name of it.
Is it The Furies?
Oh, that might be it.
Well, it says after finding other empty boxes like hers, Kayla soon discovers she's in the midst of a deadly game that pits mass killers against women.
Ryan, how the fuck did you find that?
I'm quite good. Actually, you know what? All I typed in? Australian horror movie, killers protect their prey.
There you go. You're a goddamn legend. That is it.
All right. Oh boy, that looks pretty violent.
It was interesting though. It reminded me a little bit of like The Running Man because if I remember right, people were taking bets on it and stuff. And
well, apparently it's like people compared it to Wolf Creek a bit. Also, that's also a horror movie.
Apparently,
three backpackers who find themselves taken captive and hunted by a sadistic, psychopathic, xenophobic serial killer. Jesus, that's a lot of descriptors.
So many descriptors.
Huh.
I was going to put the trailer up, but fuck, it's just an ad right now.
Too violent. Oh.
There we go.
I thought it was going to be too.
Yeah, The Furies, that was cool. It was even more fun watching it outside.
All right. Is that the one where your neighbors were like,
they were out there
like is someone getting murdered outside,
and smoking weed and annoying the shit out of us? Yeah, that was one of the times for sure. Yeah,
that makes sense. All right, there it is. All right, Wolf Creek. was looking for the reviews on it. Yeah, 6.2. I mean, that's for Wolf Creek. All right. Yeah, well, I'll throw a few of these in here because that seems to be. Was it The Furies? That's the other one. Oh, I have a link for anyone who wants to look at the. I don't know, whatever you call it. Yeah, that too. Apparently, there's a sequel to it too.
Furies 2 Electric Boogaloo, when they have a dance off with the monsters.
Pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure that's exactly it.
All good movies end with a dance off.
That's true. That's true. All the best ones. All right, wait.
Oh,
something happened here.
Did you launch the nukes?
No, not this time. Oh no, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that's funny. I didn't even see Wolf Creek. Sorry, Cheeto. I didn't see you posted that.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
But yeah. No, ruined me. I had the IMDb pulled up for it, but for some reason, I don't know if the page refreshed or what. I might have hit something.
Ruined Me is a documentary about every time I get an ice cream cone.
Yeah. The old speaking of rearranging those guts.
For sure.
It's like my tweet. Like she said she wanted me to rearrange her guts, so I undercooked her chicken. All right. So there you go. So the Q of the W is, what are some underrated horror / thriller movies to watch? And we're going to just cut it right there because the rest of that only appropriate for October. Whoopsies. All righty. Well, there you go. Stick around till the end for our word of the week. But otherwise, head on over to saltylanguage.com, click all the links, check out our past episodes. There's not that many. It's only 591 other ones to listen to.
Enthusiast episodes.
Plus the
yeah.
Sure. It only take you what or so to catch up. No big deal.
Whatever. Just be all right.
Yeah. Also, check out the network that we're part of, which can be found at tangentboundnetwork.com. And if you're looking to join a network with your podcast, or if you are starting a new show, hit them up. And if you happen to talk to Mark, I don't know, what do you got for him this week, Tony?
I would let him know if he wakes up in the middle of the outback in a box, I will protect him.
All right. Wow. I'm picturing it with that movie, but at the very end, it also turns into The Bodyguard, where you're carrying him out.
Yes.
Whitney Houston's playing.
Hell yeah, but it's Mark singing it.
Right. Of course. I mean, it's only appropriate.
Yeah.
Sounds
like Whitney Houston now.
Yeah. Wait. Fantastic? I got nothing. All right. If you want to find us on the socials, which apparently good luck finding Tony. He's a man of mystery at the moment. So, but you can find me on Twitter, I guess, and Instagram. I'm also on Mastodon, all under the same username, which is Stunami. Again, I don't really use Mastodon, but I'm there.
Hey, you have a placeholder.
I have a placeholder. Yep.
You can find me on Instagram at Demonotony. I don't post as much as I used to. I just put Christmas shit up, so I hope you'll fucking like that.
Yeah.
But you can also, and I've been saying it for weeks, but you can legitimately find me on Twitch TV /AllTheBeers. I did do some streaming last week. I'm planning on doing more streaming this week. And, find the show, of course, on FacePage and TikTok. You can always find us on Patreon.
Wow, the audio was breaking up through your.
Of course it was, Brian. Of course it was. You can find the show on Patreon. You found 3 boys through shekels to get us some new routers, apparently.
Yeah, right. I was actually thinking that the other day.
Are you thinking about doing that the other day?
No, I was thinking about I wonder if a much stronger router would just make a big difference for this.
Maybe. Support the show. There's bonus content there. Have a time. Brian, you got yourself a side gig.
Yeah. Check out the Crazy Life podcast where me, Henno, and Jen talk about mental health issues of like that we've dealt with or are dealing with, or addiction or just trying to be better people and our journey. So if that's interesting to you, please go check that out at The Crazy Life. You can find it wherever you found this podcast. The word of the week. This one's weird. This is a Shakespearean made up word, I guess.
Oh boy, is it like?
And again, I'm just going down this list. No, but it's Fustelarian or Fustelarian. I don't know which it is.
Sounds
but
like a religion.
Yeah, it does actually. Right. Apparently, it means a time waster, and it was an invention of Shakespeare. I'd rather just call somebody a time waster, like Fustelarian. That just seems like too much work.
It does.
I don't like when slang or another term for something is longer or as long as the original term.
I mean, I'm a big fan of lazy sack of shit.
It's pretty close.
Yeah. Fustelarian, huh?
Lazy sack of shit is only 3 letters shorter than this is.
See? Boom.
Or long, I mean. Yeah.
Boom. I think it has more impact.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Fustelarian kind of sounds like a Transformer or like a He-Man character or something.
Yeah, I'm with your original thing. I feel like it sounds like a religion or something. Does.
Like, oh, are you Christian? No, I'm Fustelarian. Just start telling that to people.
Which actually would be funny, given that it means time waster.
It's pretty accurate, actually.
Because you'd be really wasting their time telling them that. All right, let's pull up a meaning. Interesting. Oh, that's the Wiktionary. I don't want the Wiktionary. I want an actual dictionary. There we go. Webster's. Let's see what Webster's has to say. Right. Wow. I like their description even better. Forget a time waster. Fustelarian is a low fellow, a stinkard, or a scoundrel.
A stinkard?
Yeah, which I actually would prefer to use stinkard.
It's a great name for a dog.
Yeah, stinkard. Just call him Stinkard Tin.
Yeah, Stinkard Tin.
And then, and shorten it down to Stink or Stinkard.
Or Stank.
Or Stank, yeah. Or like that time my nephew and I were at a bowling alley and guy's name up on the screen, it stands something, and his last initial was K, so it looked like it said Stank. So
he's forever Stank.
So that and anything that, like, when him and I are talking, if something stinks, we'll basically be like, man, the Stan K kind of a thing, and then we like so yeah.
Fustelarian.
So there you go. Fustelarian. Low fellow, stinkard, scoundrel.
Religion.
Yeah. So, all right. So there you go. So until next week, have a delicious cold water or beer. You'll be fine.
Yeah, and stay salty and try not to grab glass.
That's good advice.
For your paws.
Right.